The Kenya Society for the Blind, KSB, is a statutory charitable organization established in 1956 by an Act of Parliament. KSB's mandate is to promote the welfare, education, training and employment of the blind and to assist in the prevention and alleviation of blindness, to assist the government, societies, institutions, organizations, society or persons in all matters related to the blind, to awaken public interest in the welfare of the blind and in all matters relating to blindness, and to advise on all things necessary or required in any matter connected with the blind.
We've been involved in the development of the laws that protect persons with visual impairment in specific and persons with disability. And we have been at the forefront in the development and review of the special education policy, to the extent that currently since the beginning of this year, we now have been given a special education department within the Ministry of Education through our lobbying.
The society not only houses learners, but is also a hospital to over 1 million people struggling with eye problems in the country.
For those who have totally lost sight, that is not the end of everything. There is life even after losing sight. And in this society, we have trainings for orientation and mobility, that is the use of white cane. We have training on activities of daily living, because if somebody loses sight, it doesn't mean that you can't cook for yourself, it doesn't mean that you cannot clean your house, it doesn't mean that you cannot, continue working just like you've been working. So that rehabilitation part of it even provides psychosocial support, because this person must accept that he or she does not have sight anymore.
We do eye screening, outreach programs. Part of the outreach program is what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks. We've just finished an eye camp in Nakuru, and it was to coincide with an event that we have also hold, that is the Mount Longonot climb, charity climb. So the same day when the climb was going on, then the also eye camp was taking place in Menengai Social Hall. It was a free medical camp for residents of Nakuru. The Longonot was very successful. We had a total of 712 participants. Some of them are school-going children, college-going children, corporates, and the public. And we were able to raise some income, and based on that income, we did not now delay to offer the services. So we went and offered service in Nakuru. That was absolutely free. The classes we gave, the medication we gave was absolutely free. Even in Bugoma, where we have never had any other medical camp. So we also did that at no cost.
Our school decided to do a trip to Mount Longonot in order to raise funds for the Blind Society in Kenya. And I decided to take a part in it to be a part of the initiative that they took in order to help the blind in Kenya. Climbing Mount Longonot was an amazing experience. Considering experiences from before from other people, I actually thought it would be really hard. But going up was really fun, and I personally enjoyed it a lot.
Through Kenya Society for the Blind, proceeds, support, donations will reach that learner who is in a school across the country. We are custodians of persons with visual impairment in this country. We support those who lose vision, we rehabilitate them, and also those who are in schools. We work very closely with the Ministry of Education to ensure they are accessing quality education.
The Society's director, Juliana Kivasu, laments that financing for the institution remains a greater challenge.
We were born or formed by an Act of Parliament in 1956. The gap in that act, though we have all the other rights, is a financial allocation. we do not have a financial kitty to be able to carry forward this mandate that we were given. And what we've done, and we've gone back to the government, is to review the act, because unless that act is reviewed, then we will not have a kitty that has been set aside to implement our mandate.
It is a normal school day for students at the Kenya Society for the Blind. Every Monday to Saturday, just like other schools in the country, learning is in progress in this special school for the visually impaired students. They are having their computer class with their instructor Johnson Riungu, who is also visually impaired.
I work in this theory that people don't know how to handle persons with visual impairment. So for me, I wouldn't really blame them, but usually I take it up myself to, to teach them, to tell them, to show them how to exactly deal with persons with visual impairment. And therefore, I know that if another person comes to the same place who is visually impaired, then I'm sure that person is going to get the best facilities. But otherwise, it's not easy. I would say it's not easy. We take it each day at a time as we move.
One would wonder how these visually impaired students understand each key on the computer and, most importantly, the lessons.
It's very difficult to teach a person with visual impairment, especially in the concept, because whatever is built with the sighted people in mind, especially computing and everything. So usually it's very hard to, first of all, help a person internalize the concept of computing, then to interact with the so many keys that you have on the keyboard. Usually it takes so much time. Our training here takes about 4 months. And 4 months to learn basic computing skills, some people say it's a bit ridiculous. That's too much time. But for us, it's not too much time. Because remember, you're presenting someone with a keyboard that has got like 100 and something keys. So this person should be able to master where each key is on the keyboard, be able to press this key, and be able to do work just like any other person. So the initial thing that we do is bring in a person to start learning the keyboard on a computer, and we use a program to do that, and it's called Typeability, which basically helps to understand what the function of each key and where each key on the keyboard is located.
Johnson says that teaching these students is not easy. Extra patience is required. The greatest challenge, he says, is equipment. Some are too expensive, others unavailable completely in any nearby market.
Software that we use to train, or the software that gives voice feedback, is pretty expensive. You're talking about JAWS software that you'd probably install on a computer, and this software would cost about 120,000 or above. Or the Magic software, which would magnify the computer, and it costs pretty much the same. So if you look back and say how many people are able to have this software, like not much. So most of the people who do have the software, it's probably the institution who has donated to them, and you cannot donate to everyone.
According to the World Health Organization, globally, an estimated 253 million people live with vision impairment. 36 million are blind, and 217 million have moderate to severe vision impairment. About 0.7% of rural Kenyans are blind in the Better Eye by WHO standards, and another 2.5% suffer significant visual impairment. Rates of visual loss tend to increase fivefold in each 20-year age cohort. Females have higher prevalence of visual loss than males over the age of 20. The common cause of both blindness and visual impairment is cataract, accounting for 38% of all visual loss. Vision impairments can result from a variety of causes, including congenital conditions, injury, eye disease, and brain trauma, or as a result of other conditions such as diabetes and multiple sclerosis.
Zero. Okay, you carry all of us.